Today we're going to talk about how to speed up your computer and remove the unnecessary programs that might be running on your computer that may be slowing it down. A couple of things to look at and be aware of. First of all, down in the bottom right hand corner near the clock, and I'm looking at a Windows 7 machine, so XP is going to look a little bit different. But down here in the clock you'll see all the applications that are running in the background. Well, some common ones include your antivirus program, Java Updater, any program for a scanner, for example, and Adobe Acrobat, QuickTime are some other common applications. These days what happens is that most programs, most manufacturers, want to have their program loading in the background so that it launches very quickly, and they also want to have an updater running in the background that's constantly out checking for updates. The catch is, of course, once we add several of these items running in the background, it takes up computer resources. So what we need to do is go through and decide whether or not those programs are going to be running. One way to do that is to look down here in the system tray for the application, and I'm going to pick Java Updater, which I don't recommend turning off, but I'll use it in this example. Right-click on it and see if there's a Properties option. Once you've launched that, look and see if there's a way to turn that feature off. For example, check automatic updates. I could turn that off, and it would prompt me for whatever it needed to know, and that would disable that feature. Sometimes this has to be done in the application. So for example, in Acrobat, under the Preferences, and this is the full-blown version of Acrobat, although Reader has something similar, under the Update feature, the Updater is what runs in the background. You'll want to disable that. You can go through and do this with a whole variety of programs. Also, Quick Starters, or Smart Starters as they're sometimes called, for Adobe Acrobat and QuickTime will keep the program launched in the background, which does indeed make it launch faster. However, it slows down the rest of the performance of the machine. So if you have that option, you can turn it off. Usually you'll have to open up the application and look for a file or a Preferences. One additional thing you can do, although I don't recommend leaving your computer in this state, is to use a tool called the Microsoft Configuration tool. You can click the Windows button plus R to bring up the Run menu, or click your Start button and go to Run in Windows XP, and type msconfig. This will launch a little utility, the System Configuration utility, that lets you go through and see all of the options that are starting up when your computer launches Windows. You're going to pay most attention to this startup screen. You can see the manufacturer, how it's getting launched, and if nothing else, you can go through and try it out by turning these off and then hitting OK. This will prompt you for a reboot of the machine, and after that, that application won't be running. This is typically used as a diagnostics, and so if you find that this helps your issue, you may want to permanently remove that and change this back to normal startup.